Hurricane Irene, foretold by the Illuminati and the Addams Family movie. Hello everyone, it's Red with RedDragonLeo.com, and it is Sunday, August 28th, 2011. And yes, they did foretell that in the movie from 1991. I'm going to show you that clip so that you can see for yourself, and we'll go over it a little bit and talk about it. But since it is Sunday, about 6:30 now, it seems like the worst of the storm has passed, and everyone seems to be okay, at least for the most part. No major deaths or anything that I have seen on TV, which is a good thing. So it looks like the Illuminati failed in making it a Category 2 or Category 3 or whatever they wanted to do. I'm sure they had plans on destroying New York there, and it failed miserably. And I've got a suspicion on how that happened. I think we had some help from some good ETs, you might say, or angels, whatever you want to call them. So let's take a look at that clip, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about right here. This is good old Fester. You remember him from the Addams Family, if you're old enough to remember the Addams Family. Of course, this is a movie from 1991. So certainly even the youngest of you would have probably seen the movie and known what it's about. So let's play it and check it out.
You're nothing but a useless, sniveling baby. A stone around my neck. What was I thinking? I should have left you where I found you.
No tricks, Gomez. That's the wrong book.
Okay, look at this. You have a book. I just paused this. A book called Greed. Alexander Hamilton, The World. I don't know what all these are, but the thing is with these books is they're magical books. So whatever the name of the book is, it actually happens when they open the book. So just to let you know, in case you hadn't seen it. So let's watch it. Ah, did you see that? Let's go right back just a hair. There we go. Look at the name here, folks. Hurricane Irene, Nightmare from Above. Wow, isn't that amazing? Coincidence? I'm sure that's all it was. Just a coincidence, folks. Just a coincidence.
Put that book down, Gordon. You don't know what it can do. It's not just literature. Oh, really?
Quickly, darling.
Gordon, I'm your friend. Think of the doubloons. They're not yours, Tully. Back off.
Leather straps, red-hot pokers.
Later, my dearest. Keep the book closed, Gordon. Listen to Mother.
I'll never listen to you. Never, ever, again.
I had to be strict with you because I can't put it down.
You never really loved me. Esther, this way!
Stop whining, you little good-for-nothing. Be a man.
You were a terrible mother. I said it!
Wow, that looks like a hurricane. That looks like exactly what I was seeing on CNBC on some of the pictures that they were showing of palm trees. How coincidental. Of course, I'm sure that really is coincidental because most hurricanes happen on the coast where there are palm trees. So maybe that is just coincidental. Check out that bear. Wow, looky there, folks. Is that cool or what? What are they saying? Are they saying that the bear's coming back to life soon? Because after this hurricane? Is that the start of the bear market? I don't know. I'm just speculating here. There it is again. Okay, so you get the point there. The bear and Hurricane Irene. Pretty interesting, to say the least. Just thought I'd show you that. And I think they failed. And here's why I think they failed. This is a video by, let's see, What Changed the Direction of Irene. Check this out here. I don't know if you'll be able to see most of it here, if this thing works here and doesn't freeze up on me. Okay.
More integrated microwave imagery at CIMSS, found on the wisconsin.edu website. They're doing an awesome job on what they are creating.
Let me move this forward a little bit. What we're looking at here is,
I don't know why we have this cut here. It must be pasting together the different satellites.
I've got the link for this, so I'm going to kill her audio for you.
On the 23rd, it definitely has.
Anyway, she is going forward through this each day and checking it out. But what is unique about it is one particular day here. I go forward a little bit. You're going to see something that looks like they are aiming some type of HAARP weapon or microwave or something into it, and it seems to be changing the direction and making the storm weaker and changing the direction. And we'll see it here in a second when I find it. Well, I've forgotten exactly how far in it is, but okay, there it is. There it is. Look at this right here, folks. Look at this. What is that? Is this some kind of pulse weapon? Is this HAARP that is being fired? See it again there as it repeats. What is that? Whatever it is, it changes the direction of this storm and causes it to go away from Florida, where I'm at here in Jacksonville, Florida. I am right up here, by the way, on this Florida map right here, around the corner. And it does not hit here. It just goes away from these islands and continues on up. So what is that is showing that? You see it there again. So whatever that was, I would suspect that was some type of weapon, whether it was HAARP trying to make the storm more powerful, or whether possibly it was just the opposite. What if, and this is just speculation on my part, but what if HAARP was used to create the storm, and what we were seeing there was actually something from good ETs, good aliens. Okay, wait, let's do that again. See it right here? Okay. See this right in here? What if this is not HAARP at all? What if this is something being fired from some, I don't know, spaceship? Some good alien that is actually weakening the storm, not allowing it to hit Florida, and pushed it on up further north, so that it by the time it gets up north, it diminishes and it's no longer a category 3 or 2 or whatever. It diminishes and actually weakens and does not get the effect that the Illuminati gangsters want, because Bush and Rockefeller and Henry Kissinger, those reptilian snakes, they're the ones that turned on HAARP and tried to and created this storm in the first place. There's no doubt in my mind that it was created by these gangster thugs. And I'm thinking just the opposite. I don't think that this is what's moving it. I think they already created. I think this was some good ETs using their technology to actually weaken the storm, because the storm does weaken as it goes up. When you watch the link on this lady's site, the storm does weaken and it changes direction away from Florida and away from these islands. So wouldn't they have done just the opposite and drove it into the islands, causing chaos and mass destruction, and causing maybe it should have hit Jacksonville, Florida here too as well. Maybe, you know, I don't know where they were planning on putting it. Maybe it was supposed to go to New York, but maybe it's supposed to be more powerful, to category 2 or 3, and it lessened and it did not get the effect that they wanted out of the movie that they foretold it in. Just speculation again on my part. The link to this is on the blog, and so that you can see that as well. Make your own decision. I put it right here. There's the link to that on the new post right here. So again, that's all speculation. I don't know what their plans was, if they were going to try and destroy Wall Street and blame the coming crash on that, but it seems to me like we're still on the same timeline as before, and that the crash will come, the biggest crash will come after the Legatus pilgrimage in the week of October 23rd, starting there. That'll be the biggest crash. That doesn't mean it's not going to continue down after a bounce, but because I do expect that to happen as well. So that's just my thoughts on the Hurricane Irene. This is very typical. They always tell us in advance, just like they did at the movie Oil Storm that came out just a few weeks or a few months ahead of Hurricane Katrina, and it was all about, it was a fake documentary about what would happen if a hurricane hit New Orleans. It came out weeks, I can't remember now, weeks or just a few months prior to Hurricane Katrina hitting, and it was talking about how the oil rigs would be damaged and Hurricane Katrina would be damaged. Definitely worth Googling it and watching it. And anybody that does not have it and wants to download it, I put it up on my blog, the link before. You can download it. If you can email me and I'll send you the link. You can download it right off my. I'll just send you the link and you just download it and watch it on your computer if you haven't seen it. Okay, that's red at reddragonleo.com, and you can see that by going to where it says blog roll and contact. You can click on that and you can contact me there, but it's red at reddragonleo.com. Okay, and the other thing here, moving on, we got Benjamin Fulford here, and I'll get to the charts after this. I want to go over this first. Benjamin Fulford, this is pretty much what I got out of this interview, and now this here link is his latest post, which is different than this interview, but a lot of it's just similar stuff. So in the interview, that's the interview with Jeff Rentz, and the post is here, and where I will let you read that as well. I'll go over it briefly, but let's see. Let's go back to where I was. Okay. He said in this interview, it's not confirmed, but 3 different sources have stated to Ben Fulford that the earthquake recently was an attack on hidden military facilities that are controlled by, it's supposed to be BY, by the CIA faction, which is run by the Illuminati gangsters that I always speak of. He just says by the CIA faction, but we all know who it is. It's by, Henry Kissinger and David Rockefeller and George Daddy Bush, Jay Rockefeller, Clinton, George Soros is part of it, Warren Buffett's part of it. These are all the gangsters. These are the people that's been enslaving humanity. These are the reptilian shapeshifters that have been talked about so much on the internet, and that have been around for the last 4,000 years. From what I could put pieces together, they probably did not shapeshift back then. They probably just wore those head ornaments that you've seen that look like a dog with the big long snout in the Egyptian movies from many thousands of years ago. The Egyptians wore these big head units and masked like, I don't know what you call them, looked like a dog or something, or some type of animal. And underneath they were probably reptilians that looked like a white-faced, long-teeth vampire. That's pretty much where they come from. And they have technology that's superior to ours, especially 4,000 years ago. So they've lived, hundreds of years, and many of them they just pass from one body to the next, and that body wears out, but they do shapeshift. And for those of you who haven't seen that, then go Google and watch Arizona Wilder. Arizona Wilder is the one who was what they called what was her name, Mother Earth or something, Mother Goddess or something. She was brought into the Illuminati, and she was a human and used to used in these rituals where they killed people, killed children, raped and murdered them, and then ate them. It's pretty sick. And she's seen George Daddy Bush shapeshift, Queen Elizabeth shapeshift, you know, not Tony Blair, I think Prince Charles, I can't remember who all she's seen personally shapeshift. She mentions them. So, you know, you think this stuff is nuts, you think I'm crazy, but folks, there's 4,000 years of history of cave drawings of flying ships, saucers, and people coming out of them. So, and they suppress it. You won't see it on the History Channel, but you see real archaeologists out there that are talking about this and putting up their documented evidence or documented proof of just that, of giants. Matter of fact, why don't I go over that real briefly here with you? I'll show you. One of the websites is let's see, is it this one? Can't remember. This guy named Steve Quayle. You can check him out, stevequayle.com, and you can go to the one Giants, and oops, open it up in another window, but that's okay. And he shows you, he talks about this. These were these reptilians, these Anunnaki that are enslaving us today. They're controlling the stock market. These are the ones. They have been here for at least 4,000 years. They are the ones in the White House right now that Benjamin Fulford's talking about. They're in every high-ranking place out there. They're in Queen over in Europe, in London, and the various places. But you know, these were their estimated heights, and there is pictures here. I have forgotten the giants in the scripture. If we click on this, I wish you'd quit opening up a new window. That's kind of a pain. Well, there was pictures here, daggone it. The Book of Giants. He's actually got archaeologists standing beside him. Now, sometimes I go off on a different tangent, but how about we go Steve Quayle Giants, and then let's just go with pictures. Look for only for images here, and we will see them hopefully, and we will see some of these giants that he's talking about. And they actually had pictures of people standing beside bones that were, I don't know, 36 feet tall. Crazy, crazy stuff. Well, I don't know. It's easier. Here it is. This is the main page. This is the main page right here. I think. No? Okay, well, anyway, you get the idea. There, it's on his website. It's just, you got to go through his website. I seen it on his website where he showed actual archaeologists digging and finding these giants. They were referred to in the Bible as the Nephilims, but they were the spinoff of people like George Daddy Bush, his forefathers, his forefather reptilians, I should say, that were having children with, or were mating with human women and their offspring. So anyway, as far as I can see, they are in their last throes. That's why they put out this this fake print of 3465 twice, once earlier this year and once recently when Anna caught it again. This is their plan on where they're going to take it. You know, they're like a caged animal right now, and they're lashing out. That's why they did this attack with Hurricane Irene, while they timed it to this period. You know, they're doing everything in the Illuminati card game that they can get away with. You know, the earthquake was, you know, according to what Ben is saying, that it was I guess some of the good guys, the White Dragon Society possibly, that set off the earthquake because there were underground military facilities near that earthquake line, and they set it off to, I guess, bury them and shut down the military, which is a good thing. You know, whether or not that's true or not. So we got a lot of factions here working, and so they're trying to obviously keep it secret. In this audio, I think it's in the audio or on the link here, Ben speaks about the fact that the Japanese leaders will not tell their public that the United States was the ones behind the attack on Japan, and that it was actually a nuclear bomb that went off that was in the fault line that they had buried and caused the tsunami, because they do not want the Japanese people getting angry and upset with the American people, because the American people were clueless that it's even going on. So, you know, so as I believe it's in this interview here. So that it's a good thing that the Japanese people are keeping it quiet, and they're just secretly basically fighting against this evil cabal and trying to arrest them and stop them from the things that they're doing. So you know, when you read this post here, it says that you know, behind the scenes, a major Pentagon, CIA, NSA agency faction, some good guys here, is preparing for the mass arrest of the U.S. criminals. A Nazi leader, George Bush. Now, I don't know what Ben, you know, says. He probably, since he's such a well known than my teeny little website, he's not going to go out there on a limb and call them reptilians. But I'm telling you, George Daddy Bush is a reptilian, and so is all his family. The reptilian shapeshifter. So, and they're also Nazis, yes. So I'm sure that means Hitler probably was too. But anyway, they have contacted the White Dragon Society and asking, you know, to save their ass, basically, and begging for mercy. So I give them no mercy, sorry. So is Henry Kissinger. You know, as you can see, he's trying as well. David Rockefeller's claiming to be an old senile 92-year-old human, and he's really a, you know, reptilian snake. Jay Rockefeller's hiding too. So interesting read on Ben, you know. So I always like reading his stuff. His timelines are off, but you know, it's a good thing, because every time he mentions a timeline, folks, it just doesn't happen. So it's actually a good thing that he's getting it out there in the public, and the Illuminati are saying, uh-oh, Ben said this, and a lot of people are following him. Let's change the timeline. Just like Lindsey Williams said. You know, he's exposing these gangsters, and their plan to take oil to $200 a barrel would definitely coincide with them, you know, staging another false flag event to blame the stock market crash on, and then it would be the ensuing World War III attack on the Middle East, probably Iran and Israel, get them involved, but somehow it would bleed over into Saudi Arabia. The end result would be the oil fields being blown up, the pipelines being shut down, and then they would raise oil because of a panic to $200 a barrel and crash the stock market at the same time. That's their goal. Whether or not they get it, succeed with it or not, I don't know. You know, but they're certainly trying to do that. So. Okay, I think I've covered everything there about the dark side of trading here. This is the news that most people don't know about, that you got to factor in here on what these gangsters are trying to do and the timeline that they're trying to do. There's also, of course, the timeline of you know, September 11th, 9/11 again this week, or this coming month, week, you know, September, this coming September. Which isn't too far away, 2-3 weeks away. So we got to be worried about that as well. I don't know if they're going to stage anything there or not, but it is possible they could stage something there to cause the stock market to crash. But right now, the main thing that I am seeing here is light volume in the market. I was sitting there looking at CNBC, and you know, they said that the storm aftermath may depress volumes as the week begins. Okay, you know, that makes sense. So a lot of traders aren't going to be in trading. So we're not going to have the crash, and which is really a good thing. I remain neutral going into this week because I didn't know what was going to happen. Sometimes you get caught up in the emotion of stuff and thinking that they were going to crash it down, but they failed. They failed miserably. Maybe they were going to, and maybe those microwave type beams being shot at the storm diminished it, and so they can't crash it down now. So maybe maybe that was just all planned. It's hard to say. If we just go by simply what the charts say, the charts were clearly oversold right here on the daily. It made a first attempt up, a second attempt up, and if you drew a line right here, you could put in some positive divergence. It'd be a very small positive divergence, but this low right here is a little bit higher than this one here. So it is a slight positive divergence, and it is down here at -40 area, so definitely needs to move up for a while, get this thing up and overbought right here before this thing comes up here to maybe -10 or maybe 0. I don't know how high it's going to go, and then it'll roll back down. Basically, you'll probably keep an eye on this right here as it rolls up. This is probably going to go up an equal distance, and it might get up to probably about -10. If it gets up to 0, I'd say it definitely turned down. I don't think it's going to get that high, but anything is possible. So we basically would look for the slow stochastics to get up here, probably a little bit above 50. It would be over the next week or two, is what I'm suspecting. And if you drew your line through here, it might come up there and hit it. That'd be about the 66 level or something. And so what that would mean is the market would try to inch its way up out of this triangle and rally up. So, and you can just clearly see, you draw a line here, you draw a line here. We're in a triangle. You've seen that, and you can see that clearly here on the 60-minute chart. So maybe Monday we pop up out of it and we fall back down a little bit because we are kind of overbought right here, mainly because the full stochastics is pushing up here and is ready to roll over. Here, the same thing. The MACD is up here at extended levels. It needs to kind of dip back down here below and then recycle back up. Now, when it does that, the market doesn't have to fall. The market could just trade sideways, maybe put in a bull flag, or it could also fall down here and hit this channel line, recycle back up, and then bust out later in the week. So that's a possibility. So we could possibly, this is just speculation, just upon this bull flag, the light volume, the fact that the daily is pointing up, I think we could pop up a little bit, hit this, and then roll back down a little bit and have light volume and not get above this line possibly Monday. And then if it did that, it could allow this to dip down, reset the chart, and then maybe run back up on Tuesday is a possibility. Tuesday's supposed to be a bearish day. I was looking at Cobra's chart, and he said I think Stock Traders Almanac said bearish Tuesday, bullish Thursday. But that's just past history. It doesn't necessarily always work. So we don't know. But I definitely agree that we will have another leg down at some point. The wind part's another question. He's got out some some channels here that could happen. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's probably going to be more like this, simply because, again, I think they want to take the market higher. I think the daily's too far oversold. The weekly's turning up, and I don't think it's going to go down like this. And I don't think it's going to go. So this is a possibility, down and back up, but I think it'll bust out. I don't think it's going to take that leg back down. But now, obviously, we'd have to tighten these lines up that he's drawn here and not push it out to September 6th. I'm thinking this week, maybe it runs up here, then back down, then back up and bust out. So that's a possibility. We're all just speculating on this, and Cobra's really, really good on his statistical stuff, and it's very, very interesting to read and throw all that stuff in there and look at it. So anyway, one of the other things I wanted to point out here is there's still no positive divergence on there is here on this, as you can see, but we're above this level, so it's muted now at that point. Positive divergence comes from this right here, drawing a line here to here, but we're above it, so it could just run right back down. But I don't think it will because of the daily. I'm sorry, the weekly. So the weekly is hooking back up. How high it could go, I don't know. Maybe it goes up here to 50 or just below it. Maybe you draw you a line right there and boom, it hits that 50 level or that line and rolls back over. So that would imply maybe 2 weeks up. If it could take us right into old September 11th, 9/11. Are they going to stage something there? I don't know. Possibly. But you can see we're still going down on this. This is negative. It's not really negative divergence. There's just no positive divergence. This has to go up for a little while. Then it has to drop back down but remain higher than this lowest one. So it needs to go up for a week or two and then drop back down and put in a higher low than here, which would allow the positive divergence. But when it drops back down, the actual market will take out this 1100 low right here. It will take it out. So the market will actually go lower while the amount of people actually selling will be less. So in other words, this, you could basically compare this to volume, if it would be the amount of people that bailed out on their position there. You could just say, you know, that was the majority of them, 60 or 70% of them. And then there's still some left in there. And so when this starts to work its way up, and then it starts to go back down again, that's the remaining 30 or something percent. I'm just giving you some ideas there as to why this works out that way. But it's just the last amount of people that finally bail out, the bulls that finally bail out, and at that point it's already went and it's made a lower low. So it very well could easily go to 1,000 easily or lower. And I told you I think it's going to take out 1,000 and then maybe run back up. So, and this could happen within the next couple of weeks after we run up. I just don't know how high they're going to run it. You can clearly see we've got this 20 moving average barrel down on the 50 moving average coming at 1265. This whole bottom area right here is about 1260. So that's going to provide lots of resistance there. Along, if this crosses over in the next 2 weeks, that'll be a necktie of resistance along with this line right here. It's just not likely to get by it. And so, you know, you look at that again on the daily, and this would really, that by the time that would happen, we'd be up here at -10 or maybe even 0, depends on how sharp it went up. And this would have went up and dipped back down and went back up again. That's what that would have done. And again, you'd went up here. You can see the first line of resistance right here at the 1260 area, and then this right here, obviously if it got past that, it'd be 1280. But it's got to get past this area here. As you can see, this whole 1260 area is going to be very, very tough for it to get through. The only thoughts are that if it makes it into week number 2 and going into September 11th, then it could get past that. This first week, even with the light volume, I don't see it getting past this 1260. But the week after that, the first week in September, that's the key. Will it drop back down and then try to run back up, or will it just drop back down and just keep on going? I don't know, you know, the answer to that, obviously. But I am looking for the market to go higher, you know, into next week. And so light volume, you know, if we pop up, this is going to be overbought, and that's why it can't go very far, because you got the MACD on the 30 rolling over, the MACD on the 60 rolling over. So even though it's a bull flag, it'll just be pop, and then it should fall back down on Monday. And then maybe not, because it's light volume, it might not go very far. But this right here will go and reset itself and curl back up into Tuesday. It's the likely scenario. So this would go over and curl down and then curl back up into Tuesday and allow Tuesday for it to pop out. Even though Tuesday's supposed to be a negative day, according to the what is it, Stock Traders Almanac, you know, I don't think that that's necessarily going to play out the way the charts are looking to me. So, I think that about covers everything, folks. I'm sorry this video is so long. As far as spiral dates go, I haven't mentioned that. You know, here we go for September. We got the 4th, and that would be what, Monday of next week. What would that be? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 4th, 5th, that'd be Monday of the following week of September. That would be a turn point. So literally, that could be, if we just did just 1 week up, 1 week up, then we would turn down next Monday. Possibly that would make sense. If we did 2 weeks up and took it into September the 11th, we have a full moon here with September the 12th. I know it's saying that there's nothing significant here on the spiral charts, but the moon itself is a very important time. So, it is possible that if we hit on a Monday, if that's it, then maybe we sell off into the September 11th time frame or September 12th for the full moon, and maybe that's it, and then we go back and rally. So if that would be the case, we'd sell off and probably break that 1100 for sure and head on down towards 1000. Or the flip opposite could happen, and maybe we just dip down a little and then continue on up into the full moon. I won't know that until we get there. That's just, again, speculating. We don't know how many days it's going to be. Again, if this went up first, came back down, it could find support here and then run back up again into the following week. But it would be drawing a line right here. It would be, the September 11th period, or September 12th turn period. So that would be kind of like an ABC move. So you get back up, then back down, and then C wave would take you up here past the 1260 and try to reach the 1300. If that's the case, then we definitely had a wave 2 up. We definitely had a major wave 2 up, with this whole wave here being wave 1 down, major wave 1 from here to here, and we're going up to that point. That would be a major wave 2. If not, if we don't have that, if we fall short, then we'll go up to roughly no more than 1260, no more in this bottom area, and then we'll fall back down and go take out this low. So it's 2 scenarios. Either way you look at it, next week should be up, and then we'll just take it day by day from there on out and see how high this goes. That's important. And see how high the market goes in corresponding. If this really ramps up here and the market just it struggles and doesn't get as high as I thought, and if this thing actually runs up here and gets, say, -10 or even 0, if it ran all the way up to -10 or -0, by the time this market, by the end of this week, by Friday, by the time it hit, say, 1260, I probably speculate that that's it. That's going to roll back down. Certainly it would, would roll over the following week. Whether or not it starts the big wave down or not, I'm not sure, again, but it should certainly roll it over, because there's always that possibility it comes up here to that level, rolls back down, and puts in a higher low than this one here, and puts in a positive divergence. If that's the case, then the market should go lower as this puts in a higher low. So it's just things to look out for. But so that's what I'm seeing for the short term is probably a little choppy on Monday, maybe a little down, and then most likely probably up on Tuesday. Up for the week is what I'm suspecting. So okay, gang, I think I have covered everything. I can't think of anything else, so I'll keep your eyes out there for fake prints. They'll be putting them out, I'm sure. And let's see if anything else. I don't think I've covered everything. Well, I stated in here the reason that I believe we've already had our 5th wave is because we did go lower on the Dow transports. So we did put in a 5th wave on the Dow transport. So we could have already had our wave 5 down. It's a possibility. And they call it a truncated wave, where it's just the same length, gives you a double bottom, or it's just slightly shorter. In the SPX case, it was slightly shorter. So, you can see that right here. Pretty much. Where's it at? Right here, this would have ended your wave 3, back up for your wave 4, back down for your wave 5, and maybe not bottoming tail, but at least closing price, it was equal to it. And they'd call that a truncated wave. Truncated wave means it stopped short as opposed to going deeper. So that's what that's called, Elliott wave. But I'm no Elliott wave expert, so that's just what I've learned. Okay, I think I've drug this out long enough, folks. I'll see you all on the blog and in the chat room at stockmarketbloggers.com/chat. Got a new chat room, by the way, so be sure and stop by there if you want to chat. See you, everyone. Have a good week.